Hello and welcome. My name's Lindsay Monal, and today we're going to be doing an hour-long yin yoga practice. So to get yourself set up, I encourage you to grab 2 blocks, 2 blankets, and a bolster, or any other props that you have at your house, whether that's towels, pillows from your bed, pillows from the couch, whatever you need to get yourself more comfortable. If you're in your space now, I encourage you to dim the lights or close the blinds, just getting it a little bit more kind of serene and quiet in your space, turning off any distracting music or sounds or electronics around you, and maybe telling your family to leave you alone for this next hour. I'm here today with Patrick and Ellie, who are going to be my students. And when you're ready, you can come and join us in a comfortable seated position. So I'm sitting up here on a bolster with a blanket underneath my legs. If you'd like to set up in that way or in any other similar way with any props set up, you're welcome to do that. Or if laying down for you feels better today to start, you're welcome to come to lie down on your back as well. We'll just take a moment here getting settled, so if it feels comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or just bring your gaze down to one non-moving point on the floor in front of you. As you start to settle here, just take a moment to observe how your posture is, maybe seeing if you can sit up a little bit taller. You can draw your shoulder blades together behind you and release both shoulders down your back away from your ears. And with that, maybe releasing out a sigh through the mouth. Just kind of letting go whatever you came into today, whatever you're holding on to. See if you can align your heart over your hips and your head over your heart. Ground down into your sitting bones, into your legs and feet. And just take a moment here to settle into stillness, allowing the hands to rest wherever they feel most comfortable, on the lap or maybe over the chest or belly if that feels more connected for you today. I invite you to soften the muscles in your face. Relax your jaw. Just take a few mindful arriving breaths here. Again, maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth with a sigh or a hum. Just breathing deeply here, giving yourself this opportunity to come inside, to care for yourself here. Take a moment to observe how you're feeling here without a right way to feel. Present and aware for any sensations in the body or mind. And as you settle here, just breathing, just being, allow yourself to surrender, to be fully present for this experience. I wanted to share a little passage from Cleo Wade's book, Heart Talk. She writes, "Intimacy requires us to be careful with ourselves, full of care. Intimacy with our thoughts means being careful with them and showing them affection when we have moments of insecurity or doubt. And by expressing our emotions rather than suppressing them, intimacy with our body means taking care of our body by feeding it with life-affirming food, language, and movement rather than abusing it with shame. Holding it to impossible standards, and weighing it down with toxic substances inside it. Intimacy with ourselves means showing up for all aspects of our being, and doing it with trust, gentleness, and care. When we learn how to have intimacy with ourselves, we are much braver when it comes to creating intimacy with others." And so in this practice today, we're going to be exploring this theme of intimacy, of care, of gentleness with ourselves. And with that, I encourage you to just do what's best for you at every moment, recognizing that I'm offering just some suggestions based on my own practice. But if you know that something isn't quite feeling right, if you want to come out of a pose earlier or linger a little later, you're welcome to do that, just honoring your own intuition here. So as you settle, taking a few more arriving breaths, just noticing how you're feeling, what's come up maybe after hearing that quote Take a full breath in together. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. When you're ready, you might gather your hands in front of your compassionate heart center in a prayer shape, Anjali Mudra. And if there's an intention that you'd like to set for today's practice, a word or phrase might pop into your mind here. Maybe it's that of being intimate with yourself, being careful and gentle with yourself. Or maybe there's another reason you're showing up for practice today, just seeing that word or that phrase, that intention on the screen of your mind. When you're ready, just bowing your head to your heart, sealing in that thought, planting it in your heart center so that it can be nurtured throughout this practice. Take a full breath in together. Exhale, let it go. As you're ready, fully bow your chin toward your chest. Just honoring yourself here, you might allow your hands to come down to your lap. We'll just start with a few gentle neck rolls, so really tucking the chin toward the chest. Breathe into the back of the neck. On an inhale, start to roll your right ear over toward your right shoulder. As you exhale, allow the head to come around in a nice slow circle. You're welcome to linger in any space that feels a little extra tight or like it needs some more attention today. Just breathing deeply, mindfully through all sides of the neck here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And start to move in the opposite direction. Breathing deeply. Releasing any sighs or hums at any point today as a way for your body to settle, to release whatever it's holding on to. Another deep breath in here. Complete exhale. The next time your chin comes down toward your chest, let it rest there. On an inhale, slowly roll up to sitting. If you're lying on your back, now is a good time to come to sit up. And we'll just go ahead and switch the crossing of the legs, bring the opposite shin in front. On an inhale, let's take a big stretch through the arms, reach up overhead. As you exhale, let the palms meet at heart center. Take 2 more big breaths like that. Inhale, reach the arms down, around and up, gaze up, reach long through the side body. As you exhale, let the hands meet at the heart. One more full breath in here, reaching. Exhale. Different this time. Big inhale, arms reach down, around and up, gaze up overhead. As you exhale, plant your right hand down, stretch long through the left side body. See if you can stay rooted through that left sitting bone. If that hip wanted to come up off the floor, really grounding through the hip. Take a big inhale, reach up through those left fingertips, through that whole left side body. Exhale here. Another big inhale to reach. Exhale. Let's inhale, stretch both arms up overhead, gaze up to lengthen. As you exhale, left hand plants, right arm stretches over the ear. A few deep breaths here. Again, grounded and rooted in that right sitting bone. Reaching out through the right fingertips. Can you straighten that elbow any amount? Take a big inhale. Exhale. Another full breath in. Complete breath out. On an inhale, reach both arms up overhead. As you exhale, take a twist over toward the right side. The right hand comes back behind you. Left hand can come to the right knee, the floor in front, or even open to that left knee, whatever feels good here. As you inhale, reach up through the crown of your head, sit tall. As you exhale, feel your shoulder blades drawing together as you rotate around that central axis. Let's take a full breath in. Complete breath out. Another big inhale here. Lengthen as you exhale to soften. We'll inhale, reach both arms up overhead, gaze back through center. Exhale, take the twist to the other side. Again, being gentle with yourself here. This isn't a practice of forcing our bodies into a shape to find the deepest stretch, right? Instead, can you allow some softness here, noticing your breath, noticing how this feels in the body, where you feel the sensation. With each inhale, you grow taller. Each exhale, you settle a little further. One more big breath in. Exhale. Let's inhale, reach both arms up overhead. As you exhale, release the arms out into a T shape. Let's bring the right arm underneath the left here. Give yourself a hug. Wrap your hands around your shoulders or as far as you can, whatever feels good. We'll move through a little seated cat-cow here. As you inhale, draw the shoulder blades together. Gaze up, lifting through the heart. As you exhale, hug the elbows in toward your chest and round. And continue moving like this. The elbows move along with you. As you inhale, elbows reach up. As you exhale, elbows come down into the center. One more breath here. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to round. Inhale, find neutral. Exhale here. We'll inhale, open the arms out wide into a T shape. As you exhale, switch the crossing left under right. Give yourself that big hug. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together. Gaze up, lift the heart. Exhale, round through the spine. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Twice more. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. On an inhale, slowly rise back up to neutral. Exhale, release the arms down. And then let's just roll through the shoulders here, moving in whatever way feels good. Take any little neck rolls, a sip of tea, whatever you need here. I'm going to move into our first yin posture today. We'll start with a heart bench. So you can go ahead and grab your 2 blocks. And you're going to set up one block toward the back of your mat on that highest height setting. And then your second block will come in front of it on that medium height setting, maybe 4 to 5 inches in front of it. So it's going to come across your shoulder blades, so right between your, or right where your bra strap might be hitting if you're wearing a bra. If you're not wearing a bra, underneath your shoulder blades. And this second block is going to come underneath your head. So as you're ready, you can start sitting down with your knees bent. You're going to reach kind of back behind you, align the block so that it's right underneath your shoulder blades, right in the middle of that spine. And then you can grab that second block and allow that to rest right underneath your head. Arms can come out toward the side. And just take a moment to settle here, right? It might take a little adjusting, a pickup of the hips, a readjusting of the head, whatever you need here. Once you find a position that feels relatively comfortable, you can keep the legs either relaxed down and bent. You can extend the legs long onto the floor. If you want to grab any other props here, it might feel nice to slide a bolster underneath the knees or even take a little Baddha Konasana here if you want to bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. All right, so just taking this first minute to explore what you need. Lots of options. Taking your time to get set up. As you're settling here, just noticing how you're feeling, what's going on in the body. Again, this first minute is just for exploring, taking any other adjustments or movements that you need to get yourself set up. Let's take a deep breath in, a full breath out. As you're settling here, feeling those shoulder blades draw together, be supported by that block, and then the arms just kind of melt toward the side. Your hands can be heavy on the floor. If they don't comfortably reach the floor, you can slide a blanket underneath the hands, underneath the elbows. Take a full breath in. Complete breath out. Another big inhale. Exhale. Just settling here. Relax your jaw, close your eyes. Allow everything to just melt over the props. So in exploring this idea of intimacy here, we're starting by opening up through the heart center. Not only governs our relationship to others, but also our relationship to self. And these big heart openers, these big back bends, allow for us to create more space, more confidence in the heart center, more space for expressing those feelings of self-love and compassion, as well as expressing that out to others. So as you settle here, maybe you're noticing some physical or energetic blocks or aversion to this posture. And of course, if there's some shooting pain, you can move out of it. But if it's just some discomfort, I invite you to find those areas that feel uncomfortable and just start to breathe into those areas with a little more consciousness, a little more mindfulness here. Breathing deeply, just observing how it feels without a right way to feel. Using your breath, your vital life force energy, guiding it to these areas of tension or tightness. Let's take a full breath in here. Complete breath out. Another big inhale and an exhale. So right here on this prop, you can keep your legs wherever they're comfortable. We're going to add a little bit of movement here in the arms. So on an inhale, I invite you to reach your arms up toward the ceiling so that the hands come to touch in front of your chest. And as you exhale, we'll open the arms out wide like a T shape, bringing the hands back down toward the floor. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. Exhale, open up wide. One more inhale to reach up. Exhale, open up. On an inhale this time, reach up over your head, back behind you. Reaching the arms back. We'll exhale just to settle here. Another big inhale to reach back, lengthen through the front line of the body. Exhale as you settle. And then we'll start to draw little arcs over our body as you inhale. Reach the arms up in front of you, drawing a little half circle as you exhale. Reach the hands down beside your hips. Inhale, let's reach the arms up overhead, taking a big rainbow, big arc. Exhale here. Then slowly here, draw a W with the elbows, bending at the elbows, hugging them in toward your side body. On an inhale, reach the arms up, overhead, back behind you. Bend the elbows as you exhale, hugging them in toward the side. Inhale to reach and lengthen. Exhale, elbows to your side. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Slowly release your hands back down toward your side where we began our heart bench here. Let's take a moment settling, Noticing what's new in the shoulders, what's different. Take a full breath in. Complete breath out. Another big inhale. Exhale, let it go. If your legs were extended, I invite you to bend one knee, then the other. Option here, either to roll over onto one side to release your way out, or maybe you grasp behind your thighs and gently just start to pull yourself up slowly, mindfully, whatever way feels good for your body. And once you arrive, take any organic, natural counter stretches or movements. Maybe that's rolling through the shoulders, through the neck. Maybe your body's asking for a seated cat-cow or even a hands and knees cat-cow. Just go ahead and take what you need here. Maybe your body's just asking for stillness, a moment just to breathe. So between these postures today, I'll offer you about a minute rebound time just to explore what's new, what's changed, what does your body need, what is it asking you for. Full breath in wherever you are. Complete breath out. As you're ready, you can move those blocks off toward the side. We're going to come to lay on our stomachs, coming to our open wing pose. You can watch me first if you're unsure. You'll grab one blanket. One blanket. We'll fold it in half, place it at the top of the mat, and you might have to change the fold of that later on, but we'll get there when we get there. Come to lay on your stomach, arms out wide like a T shape. We're going to start with the left arm, so my back's going to be towards you. But you're going to turn your left cheek toward the blanket, resting it on the blanket. Shimmy over onto that left side with the arm extended long. And then you'll have a few options here with the legs. You can keep the legs extended, one on top of another. You can bend the knees in toward your chest. That'll be a little bit more supportive, a little bit less pressure on the shoulder. You can keep the legs extended and bend that right knee back behind you and plant the foot on the floor. This right hand can stay in front of the chest, or maybe you bind it behind you, reaching either for the hand or just allowing it to rest at the low back. All right, so when you're ready, we're going to get set up for that. Coming to lay onto your stomach. And it might help here first with the arms extended just to shimmy yourself over toward this right side of the mat a little bit more. So when you roll onto that left side, you don't roll off of your mat. When you're ready, arms out into that T shape, you're going to roll onto that left side. You can bring that right hand in front of your chest here just for some stability as you start to work out where you want your body to settle. If you feel like you need more or less padding with the blanket underneath the head, you can fold it up like Patrick did here in that tri-fold or another fold. And then once you arrive, kind of assessing how it's feeling in that left shoulder, you can choose what you want to do with the legs, right? So keeping the legs stacked will feel kind of like that middle ground. If you want a little bit less sensation in the shoulder, you can bend the knees, stack them one on top of another, hug them in toward your chest, and that'll just give you more surface area on the ground to settle. Ellie here put a little blanket between her knees. That's a nice way as well to just find some more comfort, some more softness here. Other option is to bind that right leg back behind your body, maybe planting it on the floor, or if you want to keep it extended and reach it onto some bolster or prop you've got around, you're welcome to do that as well. And again, this is just some exploring time. You're always welcome to change your mind or change positions. Right hand can stay in front of the chest. Maybe you bind it behind the back, reaching for the opposite hand, or just letting it rest at the low back. And now wherever you are, just finding some softness, some stillness. That might start with just closing the eyes, relaxing. visually, whatever's happening around you. In whatever posture you're exploring, maybe you start to find some support here, allowing the foot to rest heavy, the hands to rest heavy here, letting go of the working and the doing here, just instead allowing your body to sink into gravity. What would it feel like to do nothing here? Just allowing your body to be supported, to be held. Another big aspect of this intimacy is giving ourselves permission to relax, to rest, to be supported, to take help in from others. And on our mats, we practice that through allowing the ground to support us, Mother Earth to support us here. So can you allow yourself just to be held, to be cradled here in this position? Softening and releasing any tension or fighting. If the mind is wandering, just coming back to the breath or the sensation you feel through that shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. Really slowly here, if that right hand was bound behind you, bring the right hand back in front of the chest. If your legs were bent or bound behind you, just start to straighten out the legs, stacking one on top of the other, moving any props out of your way. And when you're ready, gently, mindfully rolling back onto your stomach. Taking any counter movements or stretches here that feel good. What is your body asking you for here? Maybe just keeping the arms by your side, maybe extending them or reaching them up overhead, like Superman arms, maybe a little baby cobra or a child's pose, whatever your body's asking for here. No right or wrong way to move or to recover. Maybe just taking this opportunity to explore the different sensation that you might be feeling now through that left shoulder versus the right. Maybe there's a rush of blood flow or tingling present here. Take a full breath in. Complete breath out. Another big inhale. And an exhale, letting go. And do the same thing this time on the other side. So when you're ready, bringing those arms out wide into that T shape. You might again start by just shimmying yourself over a little bit toward the left side. So you've got space here to move. Arms come out wide into that T shape. When you're ready, rolling over onto that right shoulder. And same options here. Legs can stay stacked. They can bend one on top of another. They can hook back behind you. They can extend, whatever feels good. Again, the first minute or so, right, there might be a little bit more movement happening, a little bit more adjusting or maneuvering to find comfort in the posture. Maybe there's a little bit more activity this first few moments of the posture. Once you're ready, just finding some stillness here in whatever variation, recognizing that it might be very different than the other side. We don't always hold our bodies in a perfectly neutral way, so it's normal that one side might feel very different than the other. And honoring that here, just taking what this side needs, if that looks different from the other. Once you settle, once you find that variation on this side, just allow your body to soften. Close your eyes. Relax the jaw and soften the muscles in your face. Soften any holding or resistance you feel in the chest or the heart center. Even the back of the heart space between the shoulder blades. Can you let go of anything here? Allow your abdomen to be soft. You feel the breath just moving effortlessly through you here. The hips, the glutes, the legs, the feet, all relax, heavy and grounded here. Allowing the focus to be concentrated here in the shoulder, and letting any other working, any other holding or doing, just stop here. And gently here, begin to deepen your breath. That left hand was bound behind you. Bring it back in front. Start to neutralize the legs, moving any props out of the way, stacking one on top of the other. And when you're ready, mindfully just starting to roll back down. Taking a moment in between to readjust yourself, take stock of what's new, what's changed here. Maybe your body is asking for movement, maybe it just wants to be still. Honoring whatever is true for you here. a full breath in. Exhale. You can start to walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Really gently start to press your way back up to a tabletop position. And here in your tabletop, it might feel good to wiggle the hips a bit from side to side, move through a cat-cow, whatever your body is asking for here as you just start to bring a little mobility into the body, moving intuitively here. We're going to set up next for child's pose. And this is always a pose that's, has the option to be a bit more restorative if you want it to be, or a bit more yin-like if you want it to be. I do like to start by just having a blanket underneath the knees. I know for me that's always a nice way, and kind of allowing my ankles to rest off the edge of the blanket just helps to add a little bend here into the ankle. So I like having the blanket under the knees. That's optional for you though if you don't want to use it. So option one is kind of this traditional child's pose. No props, just allowing the forehead to come down toward the ground, the hips to settle down toward the hips. And then here we'll want to keep just the elbows relaxed on the ground, hands releasing. Right, if you want a little bit more support, might feel good to grab the bolster, bring it in between the knees. This will start to make it feel a little bit more restorative. You can do just the bolster, allow one cheek to rest to the side. Maybe you start to build up a little ramp for yourself, maybe with 1 or 2 blocks, depending on how high you'd like it to be, and allowing your head to rest here, or even using a blanket over the top of the bolster. Right, there's like a million setups for this. I know there's a lot of choices. But whatever your body's asking you for here, finding one of these variations that's going to feel supportive for you, restful for you, and less props will feel more yin-like. You'll have more of a stretch with less props. More props will feel more cozy. So again, intimacy today, right? So whichever one of those options feels best for you. And you'll see here Patrick put a nice little roll up of his blanket underneath his sitting bones to help support his hips and also encourage a little bit more softness and gentleness in the knees. If that flexion in the knees is a lot for you, adding that little blanket prop there might feel good as well. And again, this first minute, just taking your time to get set up comfortably. I'm going to come around with a little essential oil, offer my students here a little hands-on adjustment, just something to feel relaxing. As you start to settle here, relaxing the jaw, softening the muscles in your face. Breathing deeply, allowing the hips to settle a little further down towards your heels. Breathing into the back body. And here in this assist, if you're a teacher too watching this, I'm not pressing too hard on the hips. I'm just allowing the weight of my hands to help her support and settle into the shape. Take a full breath in. Big exhale. Breathing deeply, allow your body to settle. Notice where you're feeling the sensation. If your body is asking for any little micro adjustments or movements to make yourself more comfortable, you're welcome to take those, honor that. Starting to feel this sense of rootedness, groundedness, surrender here in the posture. Breathing deeply. If your cheek was turned to one side and you want to switch it up, you're welcome to, or if you pick that side for a reason and don't want to switch, that's okay too. Just allowing yourself continuously to settle, to soften. You know, for me, in a lot of these postures, I'll feel little twitches or little kind of jolts of energy moving through. And just honoring that process, right? The body is working on reorganizing itself, creating more space, releasing tension and old stories it's held on to so tightly. So as you breathe here consciously into all the muscles, all the joints being stretched, just inviting in the sense of softness, of gentleness, as you allow your body the space to heal itself. And also practicing this continuous listening to the body, listening to the intuition, building an intimacy with the little voice in your head, little voice in your body. Take a big inhale. Exhale. As you're ready, you can slowly start to press into the ground. Lift yourself up. And again here, take any movements that feel good, that feel supportive for you. As you readjust, as you unwind, you can extend the legs long. You can take some cat-cows. Maybe your body wanted a down dog, whatever you're looking for here. No right or wrong. Breathing deeply, notice how that feels here. And so when you're ready, our next shape will be our caterpillar stretch. So I'm sitting up on one blanket and I'm gonna shimmy up to the edge of that blanket just so that my pelvis can kind of wrap over the top of it and allow myself to sit up naturally with a little bit more length in the spine. So our caterpillar stretch is a forward fold. And in this one, there's a lot of different, again, as usual, a lot of different ways we could set up the props. I like to do a little, I call it a Stonehenge around my legs, placing the blocks on that higher height setting, placing the bolster over the top, and then allowing my forehead to rest on my hands, or even sometimes just holding my chin, or even doing kind of like a thinker type of thing, holding the forehead. Right, one of those variations. You can lower that to a different height if you don't like that. I also sometimes like, if you've got a sturdy bolster, to just hook the bolster kind of on your feet and allow your forehead to rest into the bolster. Arms can rest on the side. You might support the arms and hands with a block underneath your forearms or elbows. All right, so a few different variations of this. Of course, you don't need to use any props if you're pretty comfortable in this forward fold. But we'll be here for a while, so props are usually nice. If you're feeling a lot of discomfort also under the knees and want to add a little bend to them, you're welcome to do that, or even roll up a blanket under the knees as well. Right, so unlimited possibilities here in our caterpillar stretch. Taking your time to get set up in whichever variation feels most attractive to you here. Again, the first few moments are just arranging the props, setting them up in a way that feels useful. And it's okay here if you want to round a little bit in the upper back and the shoulders. Usually in more traditional yoga class, that might not be encouraged, but here it's okay. We're kind of doing the things that we don't normally do, moving in ways we don't normally move. And for me, in most forward folds, aside from the hamstrings, I tend to feel the stretch the most in the back of my heart space between the shoulder blades here. And we did a lot of heart opening, chest opening through the front line of the body. We have to recognize the heart chakra also has a back gate, right? The space between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart. And in these forward folds, they allow us an opportunity for introspection, right? We're literally looking in on ourselves here, right? Cultivating this intimacy, this practice of settling into ourselves. Recognizing that everything we do on a physical plane in the physical body is also having repercussions on our emotional body, our spiritual body, right, through all these layers and sheaths of our being. So as you settle here, breathing into wherever you feel the sensation, whether it's through the legs, the back, the hips, the back of the heart, neck or head. Just feel yourself kind of curling into yourself, into this cocoon. Caterpillar pose, right? We're coming into ourselves. Allow yourself fully to rest, fully to receive and surrender to all the possibilities in the stretch. Breathing deeply here. Maybe letting out a sigh or a hum. In your own time, you can start to gently guide yourself back up and out. Take a moment to observe how that feels. You're welcome to shift those props out of the way whenever you're ready, or if you're still working on something, keep working on it. In your own time, we're going to make our way these next few minutes toward Shavasana. If you want to take, before you get into Shavasana, some twists on the back or some knees into the chest, maybe you do that before setting up all your props. It might feel good just as a way to kind of, draw together this practice. And then when you're ready, we'll start to make our way toward Shavasana. Again, taking your time to get there. So if that means knees to chest and happy baby first, if your body's asking for a twist or some other shape that we didn't get to today, you're of course welcome to do that here. And I want to leave it open-ended for you. Just remembering that you're your own best teacher, right? There's nothing that I can do or say that will give you anything that you can't give yourself. Taking your time here when you're ready, setting up for your Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it looks like how Patrick has set up here with a blanket underneath the head, allowing the shoulder blades to fully rest on the ground. A bolster under the knees or thighs, a blanket over the hips, eye pillow over the eyes. Maybe like Ellie, you just want a little more simplicity in your shape here. Allowing the shoulder blades to rest on the ground and just a little rolled blanket under the knees. Whichever variation feels best for you. Getting yourself set up in Shavasana or another supportive position for your body to rest. Not being afraid to take up space here. Allow your arms to come alongside your body with the palms face up. If your fingers are touching the edge of anything, just pushing those things out of the way. Giving yourself full room here to make space. Take a few deep breaths. You might tuck your chin toward your chest just a little bit to lengthen through the back of the head and the back of the neck. Maybe rolling your head from side to side till you find a place where your head feels evenly balanced on the ground beneath you. And draw both shoulder blades together beneath you and then push both shoulder blades down into the ground just to feel that opening across the front of the chest. Lengthen through the back of the rib cage, your whole spine. Let your hips be heavy, legs and feet roll open naturally. Just finding a place where your body feels evenly supported by the ground beneath you. Taking any final adjustments you need to make yourself even 5 to 10% more comfortable here. Once you're ready, letting everything go down into the support of the earth. Let your whole body be heavy here. And get heavier with each exhale. I'd like to share just another little poem, a little quote with you here. Again by Cleo Wade from the same book. With eyes closed, I hold myself tightly and say, I am in this with you. I am here for you. No matter what happens, I will take care of you. Doing this is me choosing to be on my own team. Doing this is me learning to hold myself down through even a hurricane. Doing this is how I am able to live my life rather than let my life live me. Self-intimacy is self-care. Self-care is self-love. As you settle here, I invite you just to observe how you feel, what's new and what's changed. You can start to call your breath back, call your awareness back into the body, taking a fuller inhale and a deeper exhale. With that, starting to breathe little signs of life back into the physical body, perhaps through brushing the fingers across the thumbs, or rolling through the wrists, stretching through the toes, wiggling them here, rolling through the ankles, maybe rocking the head from side to side. On an inhale, maybe you take a big good morning stretch, reach the arms up overhead, kind of like how we did at the start of class. Notice what's new here. And stretch through the body, and when you're ready, keeping the eyes closed if you can, bend one knee, then the other. You can hug the knees in toward the chest, maybe giving yourself a squeeze here. A rock from side to side, or however feels good to bring yourself back to awareness. Your own time, rolling over onto one side, resting for a moment in the fetal position, the shape indicative of new beginnings. When you're ready, gently guiding your way back up toward a comfortable and supportive seated position. Maybe up on a bolster or a prop of some sort. Just taking a moment to arrange yourself consciously. Aligning once again the heart over the hips, the head over the heart. Allow your eyes to reclose if they've opened, and just take a moment to observe how you feel here without a right way to feel. Present and aware for any changes, any sensations in the body or mind. I invite you to guide your palms to press in front of your compassionate heart center in this prayer shape, Anjali Mudra, gesture of union and of gratitude, a way to bring our practice to a close. I invite you to bow your head to your heart, just thanking yourself for this time, for you, reconnecting with that intention that you set at the start. And when you're ready, just bowing forward in gratitude and reverence for this practice. In your own time, you can gently guide your way back up toward a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. Hope you have a great rest of your day.